is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Guardian Radio Today is brought to you by Bahamar and Printmasters.
And welcome to Guardian Radio Today, the Tuesday, October 21st edition of Guardian Radio Today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. It is my pleasure to be with you today, and I'm grateful to see exactly what's on your mind today. We're going to open the lines early. I want to bring in my good friend, our good friend, son of the soil, Dr. Rudolph Tinka. My brother, how you doing, man? Got on mute. I think you may be on mute. All right. As he works out his technical difficulties, the numbers here are 323.
Yeah, we got you there.
All right, brother. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Hello, the Bahamas. I'm glad you guys have a warm Tuesday.
Yeah, I know y'all got some cool weather now. You're coming in and out. I don't know how your connection is. The connection may be a little.
Still kind of hot, getting a little cool.
It's still kind of hot, but getting a little cool. Okay, your connection is a little faulty, but when we do hear you, we hear you clearly.
Yeah, let me get close to the
okay.
Close to the computer.
All right, my brother.
Yeah.
The lines today, 323-6232, 325-431-54259. Of course, in the family of violence, 242-300-5720. Our Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, is 422-4796, 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. Of course, you can stream with us at guardiantalkradio.com. Or you can join us through Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. There's been a lot going on since I was on last week. There's been some ratifications by the PLP. We have a by-election in Golden Isles that's coming on stream. There's a conversation about how to enter politics if one is in media. So the rules of engagement regarding entering politics. All of these things are in the local zeitgeist, if you will. But Brother Tinker, what's on your mind today before I die? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, hey, listen, those are some very good topics, but I really wanted to, I want to address a situation that I think affects all Bahamians in the Bahamas and also affect tourists that's coming through the country. Mm-hmm. And that's a topic of healthcare. It's this has always been a vexing topic for me.
Well, this is Breast Cancer and Domestic Abuse Violence Month as well.
Because I think as a country as a whole, we can do better. And I want to use you as someone who could fill in the gaps because I might know this. Mm-hmm. But, when we look at the framing and the makeup of the country and we look at the Constitution, it provides for due process. It provides that you should have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness within your country. Mm. And these are the things that the government must provide for. Mm-hmm. And one of those things is good quality health care. Mm-hmm. Okay? Health care that is 24/7, wherever you are within the country. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to use two examples of two family members that were in Freeport that would have went to the hospital down there. The first one was about a year and a half ago, He went in there saying he has pain. They told him he had prostate. He calls me after about 2 weeks sitting in the Freeport hospital. I told him if I was you, I'd jump on the plane and come to Fort Lauderdale and just go in the emergency room telling them you have a pain over number 10.
Mm-hmm.
When he got in there, they told him, whoever told you that you have prostate are out of their mind. You have a kidney stone.
Ouch.
And let's give you this and clear it up. Clear it up, came out of the hospital.
Wow.
I just had a second cousin, which
But
is
I mean,
the cousin.
your kidney ain't where your prostate is, though.
Tell me about this.
I mean,
Unless down there you all got some big cojones that
mean,
ends up in your kidney.
I'm just saying, they ain't like they next to each other. You know what I mean? One between your leg,
Unless it's so big that it end up in your kidney, who knows?
Wow.
But,
Wow.
But and these stories are verifiable. Second one is the brother of the guy with the grande stones,
Right.
and was in the hospital for 2 weeks, waiting to have his issue addressed in the same hospital in Freeport. And he's telling them, I'm in pain, I can't pass. I'm in excruciating pain. That cousin jumps on a plane, comes to Fort Lauderdale, goes down at the Fort Lauderdale Regional Hospital, and within 24 hours, they put him on surgery. Immediately to remove the blockage. He had a major blockage. So it comes to the point to bring this at a head. And I've heard dire situations in Princess Margaret. Okay? Now, let me ask you this question before I really say what I want to say. Does the MP, does members of parliament, including the prime minister, do they use Princess Margaret Hospital or any government hospital?
Not necessarily.
Now, why you say not necessarily?
Because I know of a situation where they leave the country to seek medical attention. I think it was around COVID time.
Because the expertise was not in the country, or it's a habit that members of parliament take off and go to seek better healthcare someplace else.
Well, the prime minister's daughter is a doctor, so I think he went to see his daughter.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly why he did not go to PMH, but he did see his daughter. However, I do know I wouldn't even just put it on politicians. People that have the ability to travel, in many instances, will leave the country to seek medical attention, especially for a physical or something where they don't want people.
But you see, I want to stick to the government officials.
No, I'm with you.
No, here, and this is the reason why. Because people, we can't control what people do because they're not the government.
Right.
Let's focus on the government for a second.
But let me tell you why I'm framing it that way. Usually the people in government come out of the ilk of these people who have the means to leave the country to seek medical attention. So when when they become government officials, and this is what I want to kind of be clear about as we kind of put things on the table, as we set the table. Are we saying that once you become a minister now to utilize the services that you are responsible for making sure that everyone else has? Is that what
this is the framework I want to set, but I don't know what's the requirement now, because of government officials, and I'm not just talking about government workers. I want to put it on elected officials. If they're not using the government-ran facility, then that means that facility is not up to par, and no Bahamian should be using it. Because we got to put. Today I got on the doctorate of psychology and industrial organization hat. Okay, because we got some serious issues. If government officials are not mandated to use government-ran facilities, then those facilities should be shut down. Because that means it's not quality enough that for them not to use it, but you want the people that voting for you, the masses, to use it. We have a problem. That's a huge problem.
Let me read what I pulled up. right? No, government members of parliament in the Bahamas are not required to use government hospitals. Like all legal residents, they can choose to receive care from either the public or the private care system.
And that right there creates a lapse in care. Because if they can't go in these facilities and experience what the common Bahamian is able to experience, it's not going to get any better.
Right.
And we got to get out of the framework, as I hear it all the time. Oh, we are the best. We have every experience that we need in the country to make our country better. And let me tell you, you don't have it. You don't have it.
Especially if they're using it.
Exactly. Then a rocket to the moon, or we built a car, or we built a spaceship, or we built something.
Now, let me say this. A texter's making a good point. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram recently had a brain surgery in Nassau.
He's out of politics. I don't even want to use that example. He's out of politics. I want to talk about the people that's in politics, especially the Minister of Health. I mean, come on. See, I want to take this conversation very seriously because I was in Princess Margaret twice. One time in 1979 because I was born in it, and the last time when I had a shoulder injury about 30-something years ago, and they left me with a nice, recognizable scar on my right shoulder. Okay? But it probably got worse than what it is today, because I hear the stories. Listen, we're not making anything up. Any number of callers could call and talk about the help that they got.
Without it.
Okay? Now, we appreciate what we have there, but Jesus Christ. The other day in Long Island, I heard a story about the government put 2 ambulances in Long Island. None of them are equipped for medical services and no drivers. That someone had to go on the back of a truck
that was a big
to go and get service. I mean, many ministers of health, and many of them have been doctors for the last umpteen years, have been asked to address the same issue of healthcare. And where are we today in 2025? Still dealing with healthcare.
Texter says, good afternoon. In the past, all government officials utilized the private ward of PMH. So Lyndon Oscar Pendon always used PMH, is what this texter is saying.
Let's focus on that.
So what has happened? So what's changed? If they used to utilize it, what's changed?
Population has grown. The population has grown drastically. That's the big change.
Let's run to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. My special guest today, Dr. Rudolph Tinker. Call you live on Guardian Radio today.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm good, Mr. Tinker. You're making plenty sense. So, if I was to add to the conversation, right? I wanted to catch Dr. Fox before he left. I think I heard Javaro Lang would have said
he was on with Dr. Fox is on with Mr. Lang, yes.
Yeah, he was on with Lang. And he said that he has thrown out invitation for all the parties to come on the show, right?
Right.
I don't know, but I know normally when whoever the sitting government is, I notice the representing government, they don't appear on the talk show. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know.
They working, man. They working. They serving the people.
They ain't working. They should appear on the show.
They ain't got time to be on no radio show. They got to go do the people's business.
The people who trying to get in, which is the opposition, they're the ones who's supposed to be working harder. And they should
They have time because they ain't can't do nothing but make noise. So they got to come on the radio.
Okay, let me tell you the importance of them appearing on the show, okay?
Who, you mean the government? The government.
The government, yeah, the MP them, the sitting MPs, right? Just like how what he's saying about health care, right?
Yeah.
Let's use Dr. Darrow, for example, right?
Yeah.
He should appear on the talk show, right? He should be selling a platform, telling the Bahamian people how much better that he's going to improve health care. Or what's his plan or his intention?
Well, let me read this. Take a pen right there, caller. They are saying that the government is working to improve and expand the public health care system for all citizens. Recent legislative proposals debated in Parliament in July of 2025 are designed to enhance universal health coverage under NHI and increase the network of both public and private providers. These reforms aim to improve the quality of care in public hospitals, but they do not impose an obligation for MPs to use them. This is what is being said.
Okay. All right,
That's bad ink and bad paper.
Yeah.
One is not coming into effect. Yeah. Huh? And what
Well, I know the doctors, I don't know if they got paid yet. I know for a while they hadn't been paid. So that was another issue. I only putting everything on the table.
Okay, that don't fair, because let me give you a live example of NHI, right? When NHI first came in, NHI was offering where you could go by and get your blood work, your this, that, and the next, right? You go to them now, and it's limited examination. And I know one tell me that. I know that for a fact. So if they improving, why they deducting? You can't get this now, but you could get that. That is not under the coverage no more. But
I get my physical every year on NHI, but I feel you.
No, you're improving. When the F&M had off whack of a medication and you come back and you put it back on, where's the improvement? Do you expect for me to buy what you say? That is what? I supposed to fall for that? Really now?
Yeah.
And I could see different. If you're improving, let's see the improvement.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I want to say, if you see Granville McCartney had not given up on that third party, I think this would have been their chance.
I believe so too. He stopped too early.
Right now, if he hadn't given up.
Yeah, he stopped too early, man. Thank you, caller.
Let me just say something before you
go ahead, brother.
So listen, the population of whatever you want to say, indigenous, Bahamian, and the newcomers has grown drastically. Not much has grown in the healthcare sector. For an island like Nassau, where the majority of your people live, the majority of the Bahamians live, you could say, okay, PMH could be your primary location, but you need 3 other secondary hospitals in New Providence. One could be in Yamacraw, one could be somewhere by the hospital, and one could be in South Beach. Because all the ambulance can't be screaming just to get to PMH.
They got a conditional approval granted for this new hospital now that they're seeking to put off of New Providence Highway, close to Sanders Beach. You know that area?
I know that area, but the majority of the people live on the other side of the island. There should be one right down there in South Beach. That's the south part of the island. There should be one on the east and
upgrade
one on
the clinics,
west.
or just upgrade the clinics.
Upgrade the clinics and make them either urgent care.
Yeah, that's probably more realistic.
Urgent care, but you need another major hospital somewhere where if there's a bad accident or some heart attack somewhere in the south part of the island, you're not screaming up tiny roads to make it all the way to PMH. You could deal with what you got to do in the south end of the island. So the argument of whether the members of parliament should use government facilities, they should, because if they're able to go in these facilities and they could observe customer service, cleanliness, whether they are properly staffed, so they can have these conversations. If the government is paying insurance for them to use healthcare elsewhere, that's not a good thing.
I agree.
Of specialists in the Bahamas, whether it be doctor, Cuba is producing so much excess doctors that are sending them all over the world.
But we have
work within the Caribbean.
We have to ask the U.S. if we could bring.
We don't have to ask the U.S. anything. Fred Mitchell just needs to do his job.
We have
the
to find
Bahamas
out.
is a solvent country.
We have to go to Marco Rubio them and say, "Can we have some Cuban doctors, please?"
You understand what I'm saying? But we gotta just look at this thing because any one of us as Bahamians, family members could have issue or medical issue, and end up in the same situation that so many other people end up in, especially tourists.
Let me say this before we run back to the phone lines. I know of several people who have gone all the way to Colombia to get proper health care, and also very inexpensive. I ain't gonna say
very
cheap,
inexpensive.
but it's inexpensive. Good. It's inexpensive compared to what's taking place here in this country. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Enos.
How you doing, sir?
Brother Tinker's on to something.
Yeah.
I know of those 2 gentlemen he's talking about.
Okay.
Hey, Gardner.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Right, so go ahead, Gardner, tell him.
So he's telling the truth
Mm-hmm.
and nothing but the truth.
Amen.
You know something? Why in this age and time we still taking people to Cuba for blood glaucoma, to do surgery on cataract and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
All we need to do, the government need to do, bring the best doctors them here. Where use a heart specialist, bring the doctors here. Place them in the hospital and stuff like that.
But hold on, caller. I can let you finish. I want to just add this. I want to inject this into what you're saying, right? Before we could even get to the doctors, right? You got a severe deficit of 400 to 500 nurses, right? Because of the low salaries, the poor working conditions, the lack of professional opportunities, which is driving these healthcare workers to seek better opportunities. So what you think with the doctors?
But then we got to pay the nurses them.
So after you, I just want to give some perspective. You know, they don't just make you a doctor or a nurse. You got to go to school for many years. You got to spend your own money because right now the government of the Bahamas don't give you no scholarship to become no doctor. Now they have some things that they work out with nurses, but definitely not.
You made a good point. The government is not investing in what they need to invest in.
No.
You got to subsidize a professional health care so the roosters could come back home.
Right.
You got to do that.
Right.
If you're not putting money in making doctors and making nurses, then what's the whole point?
What you expect? Go ahead,
Exactly.
caller. Go ahead, caller. Sorry.
Right now, these clinics in Elizabeth State, South Beach, and Flamingo Gardens, places like them, they close around 7:30 inside the evening.
Right.
Somebody take down with a bad sickness. They got to run up to the prison. Places can't be open like a mini hospital.
That's yes.
They
24/7.
24/7.
But they don't want to do these things. So
See-
because they ain't doing it, the country gets so bottlenecked with the big Prince Margaret Hospital and stuff like that. And this is where the problem comes.
I think.
You know,
Go ahead.
they
Sorry.
tell us I'm going to start thinking
Yeah.
that hospital should be open around 12 o'clock inside the night
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. These clinic and stuff like that.
Listen, they should be just like police stations. Police stations don't close.
If you have an asthma attack, you got to run up to if you live up in the east, you got to run up to the general hospital. You understand?
Yeah.
So these things, they really got to stop. Right
Yeah.
now, the Bahamian now are going up to the Colombia now to get surgery.
That's right.
Get the best doctor you could get. Bring them here. That your people will be able to take care of themselves and stuff like that. And what Brother Tinker is talking about, he know who they is to me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one is over there right now.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah, in the hospital.
What
Just got out of surgery
he's saying
yesterday.
the truth. Thank you.
Wow.
All right, thank.
Thank you, man.
All right. Listen,
Listen.
that caller right there, okay?
That's proof of what you were saying.
Both of them are his brothers.
Wow. Wow.
Both of them are his brothers, man. I'm telling you, I didn't make this. Is just for
I feel you.
you understand. So when the government is not, you see, let me tell you something. Like I said in the Constitution, the government job is to provide you with the pursuit of life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness.
Let me say this though, Dr. Tinker, right? A tax is making what I think could be a vital point, right? They say, in my opinion, the argument is a false premise because quality of care is only one consideration. An equally important consideration is my private business. On this
We're not talking about private doctors,
listen.
but go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
We talking about this text is saying when my health is my private business. My condition of my health is my private business. If I'm going to utilize the Bahamian system, it's very easy. If I do have a condition for that information to be leaked.
Oh, what this guy talking about, man? We're not talking about.
They say on this new iteration, if you have a public profile, you have no guarantee that your information won't end up on the street.
Yeah, the caller is on some conspiracy rant, man. I'm talking in general to help the masses. I don't care about your private business.
So-
if someone's leaking your private business, then they should be prosecuted. But we can't even look at that because that's a totally different situation. That's a totally different situation. I don't think doctors got time to go leak your information. And if they are leaking it, then their license should be taken away because that should be
But Tinker,
a medical violation. In the U.S., they got something called HIPAA. You
Right.
should be protected. But we can't take that and use that not to provide good quality health care.
so I'm with you. I agree with you. However, that is a reality.
I know it's a reality, but that needs to be ironed out. That is a separate situation from making the health industry better. And I understand you say these doctors go off and get high, into college. Okay, we understand that. But let me tell you something. There are many countries that are producing good quality doctors that will accept low pay because the exchange rate in their country to ours, whether it be the Bahamas, is much better than they're making in their country. But the government has to subsidize some things. Subsidize maybe living allowance for these foreign doctors. Okay, living allowances, transport, flight to and from home, and bring them over on a rotation. Let me give you an example. Right now in Freeport, there's a college called Ross University and another one. Those are actual MD schools where they're teaching doctors in those schools to come in the U.S. and be doctors. That school should be actually part of their setup in the Bahamas. They should have those new trained doctors before they leave the Bahamas do either some sort of 1-year residency in local hospitals and clinic to give something back before they leave the Bahamas. That's one other option. And the Bahamas should be working with that private institution to say, hey, qualified doctors that have came in this country to get educated and be doctors to go back to the U.S. and do their residencies and take their exams, we would like to bring some of them in our fold for a couple of years to go away. So there's all sorts of avenues where we could bring doctors in, whether they're coming from India, whether they're coming from Cuba, Colombia, tons of nurses coming out of the Philippines every year. I mean, whatever it takes, or breed your own people. I mean, what's the purpose of having University of the Bahamas? I think, I'm not too sure, but do they have a nursing program there?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, but let's start pumping out some more nurses.
Yeah,
and the government should make it free.
But the nurses live.
Well, they can't. If the government give you,
I understand they could bond you. They could bond you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, man.
So I'm just pulling up some numbers, right? I'm trying to see how current this information is, right?
I might have to go to the hospital, y'all, and get my pressure up.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know that this was the case. I'm not sure if it still is the case, right? But for Bahamian citizens attending the University of the West Indies, the government either provides or did provide tuition subsidies of up to 80%, with higher subsidies for campuses closer to the Bahamas. So, for example, from Trinidad and Tobago, students with higher household incomes might pay around $17,000 plus USD annually, while those with lower incomes can receive 100% funding after a means test. So I know that there was something in place, and I have to find out if that's still the case, because I do know of people who did or benefited from that in the country. You understand, where the government was actually putting some money behind producing these doctors. But we got to run to a break.
Good.
I see the callers. I see the texters. Dr. Tinker, just hold that thought, and we're going to be right back here on Guardian Radio today. Our special guest today, Dr. Rudolph Tinker. My name is Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. We're talking healthcare and more, right? We're not only talking healthcare, but if you want to talk about healthcare and more, give us a call back after this.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge, so we need to check out what's going on in every
everybody yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
See something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Daniel Boulud, Marcus Samuelson, Dario Cecchini, and Simeon Hall Jr., alongside a vibrant lineup of Bahamian chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. And don't miss an electrifying live performance by global superstar Lenny Kravitz, headlining the festival's welcome party on Friday, October 24th, with a concert experience you won't forget. This is more than a festival, it's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage. Bahamar, life spectacular. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today.
I'm back on.
My name is Dr. Cleveland W. Enius III. Our special guest is Dr. Rudolph Tinker, talking healthcare and other issues. We're not only sticking to one topic, but this has been the main topic for right now. I just want to say, I just did some research. Right now, Ministry of Health and Wellness, in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, is excited to announce the applications for the 2025 subvention scholarships are now open. So they do have these scholarships for medical students. All right, I just wanted to put
that is good if they're continuing to do that. But one thing with education is a slow process.
Definitely.
Because to make one doctor, you're looking at anywhere from 8 to 12 years.
Yeah.
To make one nurse, you're looking at about 4 years to make a nurse.
Yeah,
Bahamians
4 to 6
can't wait
years.
that long. We can't wait that long.
Yeah. No, so you got to do both. You can't just rely on. Yeah, you got to
Right.
bring in some help.
Okay?
You got to bring
Not
in some
only
help.
that you have to bring in, but you have to create the professional environment at that PMH and these
That will
clinics,
attract,
so
yes.
when these people come there, they're in a good environment. You can't be dealing with leaky roofs. You ain't got the right equipment. Someone come with a broken leg. You run out of this. You run out of that. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
hallway, all kind of different
Drive-
things. Yes.
Exactly. You're too close to a first world country. Okay, you're too close to the U.S.
Mhm.
not to have proper examples to use to make it better in Little Nassau. You're too damn close.
Yes. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Good afternoon, Uncle Sarah.
Good afternoon, Grammy boy.
Exactly, and good afternoon, Professor.
Good evening, sir.
Tinker.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm going to ask both of you a question.
Sure.
Are both of y'all insane? Y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy?
Crazy for wanting better, right?
No, that's a legitimate question. Y'all ain't crazy. with
No,
what
we
y'all
ain't crazy.
saying, right?
We ain't crazy. So now what?
No, and y'all are saying what everybody else is saying, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me qualify why I asked you all that question.
Mhm.
Grammy boy attends the hospital 3 times a week
Yeah.
for dialysis.
Right.
Okay? I always sounding the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
But I have written several correspondence as to what is actually, just like you and Professor Tinker,
Yeah.
actually what is going on on the ground, what I see, what I have experienced. But guess what? Everybody pushing all my letters aside and say, Grammy boy crazy.
Oh, wow.
He always complaining. He always that. How come I the one with crazy? Because I, like a Snowden, I am telling what is going on because it shouldn't be happening like Professor is saying, this close to the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go further. Professor talked about leaky roof. Leaky roof is an understatement.
Yeah.
The dialysis unit leaking every day, especially when it rains. And when it ain't raining, it leaking sewer.
Oh, my Lord.
Right today, sewer.
My Lord.
Down on the machine.
Man. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
You hear me? But they say, Grammy boy crazy.
My Lord.
Don't listen to him. Nobody wants, Professor, I wish you could have helped me to get one of those international health persons down here so I could take them myself. Because let me tell you all something, and I ain't scared, because they done tried to silence me a couple of times, but telling the truth for the Bahamian people in that hospital. That hospital is condemned all over. That hospital is condemned. The rats, Grammy Boy was very instrumental in getting the kitchen closed because of the sewer and the rats and the stuff that these people was cooking our food with.
Wow.
That's why the kitchen closed. Grammy Boy wrote the letter. I am exposing it, Uncle. But they pushing me under the table. And I ain't talking about some of them. I talking about all of them. Because I just put another correspondence out to them for help so I could explain what's going on in there a couple of weeks ago. And today, nothing. Nothing.
Minister of Health should be fired immediately. Minister of Health should be fired immediately. Immediately.
Listen to me. Now I get
and he's a
doctor.
And he's a doctor.
I know the Minister of Health. I kept the Minister of Health up to date for the last 2 years.
Let me throw this in there. Just for context. The government travel spending has been a contentious issue under the current Progressive Liberal Party. The total budget allocated to government travel for 2024 to 2025 fiscal year was revised upwards to $16 million from its initial allocation of $12.4 million. I just wanted to throw that into the conversation. So we spending $16 million traveling, but you say
priorities are wrong, man.
So you say the sewer coming down in the dialysis ward.
The sewer is leaking, and if they want to go run high, the brown bucket what they got in the hall right now, because they slow it down, they put a Band-Aid on it. Grammy Boy got all the evidence. I done got the evidence. That's the type of person
Lord. Thank you, Grammy Boy. Let me get some more calls in.
Dialysis unit.
Let me get some more calls. Thank you so much.
But real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Tinker.
See again a concerned citizen been complaining, but that tells me the population is becoming so content that anytime they hear something about PMH, man, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, until they got to go in it.
Until they got to go in it. See, that contention basically make you ignore reality.
This texter says anybody in charge of reform should be able to reference any global healthcare standard, implement it, and continuously track irrespective of whether they use the service. I mean, think of it. Logically, does someone have to get desperately sick to see the issues at PMH and improve them? Definitely not, Texter. Very good point. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you live. Caller going once. All right, let's run to the next caller. Caller, you live. Caller going once.
Yeah, good day, sir.
Go ahead, man. Thanks for calling.
We are two former F&M government in power who is doctors.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't do nothing at all for the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about these jokers now?
Well, another doctor.
How we can keep putting these people in power, just free talking us when they get there, they don't want to do nothing. Like, if though we begging them for the service, and I want to say this to every Bahamian who can hear my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Please do not hire the PLP and F&M to run this country no more. Get rid of them. Try something new. We can't keep going in circles. Please, people, please, let's get rid of these two parties. Just one chance. Give somebody else a chance. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller.
And the funny thing about it, and this is why debates are so important, because God put them on a platform and let the public ask them these questions, and then they look like a deer with the headlight looking, or they look so dumb because they don't have any answer. Then don't vote for that guy. But everybody voting through party platforms and stupid ink on dumb toilet paper that nobody reads. That's why nothing gets done, because nobody goes back to these manifestos.
Yeah.
To hold them accountable for what they supposed to do, because they don't do it.
Yeah, because the political wheel, the way it works, and you know this very well, it's based on, I'm going to get a contract. If this government is in, I'm going to lose a contract. If this government, and so they don't really care about the manifesto. All they care about is, can you get me my contract? And I can do whatever it takes to keep that contract.
Exactly.
Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Hey, great show.
Yeah, brother.
Hey, right, hey, quick question, right?
Yeah.
You think that we could ever get away from the stigma attached to PMH? You realize no one in the history of everness ever wants to go to PMH. No one wants to get sick, in general. But if you happen to get sick, you could tell CVG no one wants to go to PMH. Do you know that? Is there any way we could actually get that stigma attached from that?
What you say, Dr. Tinker? I want to hear from my guest.
Before I go, right? You ever, humor me with this. You ever visit someone to PMH before?
Yeah, just recently.
That's the worst. That's like a mental thing. After you visit someone, I went to visit someone at PMH for about approximately 2 hours on a Sunday, right? I had to bathe in Dettol, extra soap. Man, I look for Lifebuoy soap. You know how strong a Lifebuoy soap is?
Yeah.
You get white after. White after that, eh? You get a couple of shades lighter.
You know what's going on.
My Lord.
A couple of shades lighter.
Thank you, caller. Tinker, what you think, though? I mean, you think we could spin this ship around?
This is what I'm talking about. It's that you see, they've already become so content that you're praying not to get sick, because if you go there, you might die.
My Lord.
Okay? That should not be, man. You're supposed to rest assured that you have quality health care. And that shouldn't be that should be the last thing on your mind, that if you get hurt, you got someplace safe to go.
And when you go to the private hospital, they want their money up front. You could be there bleeding out. They asking you for your money.
And there you have it. For the years I've been traveling back and forth, an extra set of insurance I carry is something called emergency flight insurance.
Right.
And from the time I've been in the military and been out doing a good bit of travel, I always carry emergency flight, which is separate from emergency care.
Right.
And when I go to Nassau, I tell close family members to me, and if I go there with my wife, just tell them keep the oxygen flowing and stop the bleeding, but get me on a plane immediately. Don't cut, don't do nothing.
I know of Bahamians who have healthcare in Jamaica. they don't have the healthcare. Yeah, they say fly me to Jamaica.
We shouldn't be thinking about that. We should be happy to know our brothers and sisters are in that hospital doing a good job.
Yeah.
And they're gonna make sure that someone coming there, not saying they're not doing this now, but the hospital just has too much bad rating. There should be a 5-star rating on that hospital that's posted up on a big billboard right in the front of that hospital. And when it gets better, you increase the stars.
Yeah. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Yeah, man, it's good to be alive, especially in the presence of Dr. Tinker.
Yes, indeed.
Brother, I really miss hearing you on the radio, man. Listen, though, you see, when you have, let's say, a lawyer running your finances, right? That's a problem. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think lawyers are trained in managing business accounts. They like, I could tell you.
But he got Alcides there. Alcides, that's the finance man.
No.
Alcides right there over his shoulder. Alcides right there over his shoulder, man. Come on.
But he has the final say, and that's where the problem lies. Because if this guy had a strict autonomy where, look, this is the way it is from a financial point of view. Look, here's the deal. We have a current a guy who likes to travel. He did 25 X number of dollars in thousands. Mm-hmm. Lady says, we don't have it, sir. He says, find it. So you see where they're living? They are living above the needs of appreciation for the poor people. Mm-hmm. So right now we have the Social Security benefits that's about to expire. They ain't talking about that. Are they addressing the fact that the benefits that people paid for are going to be expired because they took the money and do something else with it? See, and I'm glad Mr. Tink is on exposing, because when you have a stone and you can say that's prostate cancer,
My
and,
Lord.
and it's a simple gallbladder or kidney flush. Come on, man. So tell me, how many people dying in that place because of murder?
That's another thing you need to look into, because the doctor should be held accountable. Their license should be removed. You just can't keep doing the same thing and there's no repercussions for your bad actions, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Let other people call in. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Let me see what the taxes are saying right now. We need to get rid of the contract and place those services back into the various government departments and corporations. The contract has lowered our standards. Look at it. Okay, Dexter. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Hey, good afternoon, Uncle.
How you doing, man?
Hey, and good afternoon, the Dr. Tinker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, powerful man. Hey, I agree with everything what you all saying, but when I really boil it down, right? You know, we have one problem. We have two problems in the Bahamas, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's called governance. It's one, right? Because back and forth from the PLP and the FNM trying to find governance, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all the Bahamian people was really looking for. Every time they go to the general election, most of them go with the hopes of, you know, some transformation in their, you know, community. But unfortunately, we never get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the other problem I feel too is, you know, we have a lot of Bahamians would know that we're not going to get no justice from you know, going back and forth, but we can still go back and forth anyhow and still look for the justice.
But what else you could do?
You know, but
Caller, what else you could do?
Well, you couldn't do anything then, right? But no, but today there's something we could do.
What?
And that something is the Coalition of Independence, right? Because we as a people, we need to make a change to get a different result. You know that, Uncle.
Yeah.
It's called insanity when you continue doing the same thing over and over.
Expecting different results.
Expecting a different result like we've been doing for 52 years. That's why we'll be talking about what we're getting from doctors who know better, because we then had doctors who are ministers of health under both administration, and look at the result.
But this text to say I will read this text before you go. They say a previous caller mentioned 2 previous F&M health ministers not doing anything. But trust me, as a nurse, the current state of the hospital has never been so horrific. This is what the text is saying.
And I could agree with that, because, you know, we could go further. We could come out of the hospital and you could see the current state of this country has never been in this condition that is in our history.
Voila.
But just let's keep in mind now, doctors are not administrators.
Correct.
Okay, so even if the doctor become the minister of health, he's not an administrator. He's never been trained in managing anything except for his scalpel or whatever his specialty is. So you keep putting the wrong people in place. Yeah, it's nice to know that the guy is a doctor, so he would know how. You would think he would know how to.
He should have some first-hand experience that will allow him to work with the administrators.
But
right?
none of these doctors probably never even ran their own business. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to stop thinking, okay, because the guy is a doctor, he's supposed to be the specialist that knows how to run the hospital. And I'll give you one example before we run back to the phone. But in the last 10 years in the U.S., the U.S. has pulled away from allowing doctors to manage their hospitals because it came as a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Are you trying to save life or are you trying to save money? So what they started to do, they started to put civilians, non-doctors, to manage their hospitals and let the doctors stay focused on saving lives. Because the doctors were becoming... They became in a predicament. Okay, I need to save the hospital money because it's part of my job, but I also need to save this guy's life. What should I do?
Yeah.
So they realized, no, this guy can't have that title. We need to make non-doctors hospital managers and administrators and let doctors stay managing, doing what they were trained to do, save life.
Sound like an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
There you go.
Let's run back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live here on Guardian Radio today.
Yeah, Uncle, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Doc.
Good afternoon.
Good evening, sir.
Let me see if I can paint what I perceive in my mind and see whether I can bring it into a way that persons would understand. First and foremost, we talk about our current system here. Anyone from the political arena address in real terms. Breaking it down for the average layman to understand. What is it that we can do to change our current systems to bring them into a way that can be operational today, right now, this particular second? You know, I look at the missed opportunities that oppositions tend to do, and that is the current systems that is currently in play, that they would take the time to sit down now, listening to all of the diatribes that we as a people have been putting out here year after year after year after year, even from the time of our parents. We talk about the systems that the Bahamas currently uses. And yet in opposition, you know, you cannot come and try and introduce something that is so broad that can move the paradigm from where it is toward the new paradigm, taking the risk and the chance to actually come out here and try to change some of these systems. We've talked about our Constitution. I always say that the Constitution is a living document, which means that it is, although it's dynamic, it is also static to a point. When do we have people who go into our parliament who have thought before they took 5 years to look at our Constitution and figure out how can we tweak this, how can we dynamically move that, how can we do this to achieve this objective? There's none of them that came out to actually do it for the benefit of the Bahamian people. So therefore, we're stuck with the same, like the hamster going around the same spinning wheels, and only certain people benefit from the organized chaos.
You want to know why? You want to know why that is? You want to know why that is? Because
I know why it is, but I want my Bahamian people to understand what it is.
Ain't none of them never read the document.
Okay. Now, well, I'm happy you said it. Because if you go to them and you ask them to go into any subsection of the Constitution and say what it says, none of them could tell you.
Nope.
Like I said, organized chaos. They love it exactly the way how it is, and nobody wants to change nothing.
Well,
and you talk about the new parties that's coming out. I am still waiting for the new platform to come out where they talk about the systems, but how will they realistically change the current systems toward the systems that we need to progress this Bahamas towards the next century.
Yes.
There's no talk. But anyway, Uncle,
thank you
very much for allowing my voice to be heard.
Yes, sir.
We as a people have been played for far too long, and it ain't by no accident. We are intentionally doing it because it's willful ignorance that is at play here. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Guardian Radio today will be the news. We're going to talk about what we can do, you know, as the electorate. We got our special guest, Dr. Rudolph Tinker, here with us today, but we'll be back after the news and after paying some bills. What'd you say, Doc?
I just want to say this before we go to the break. One thing I have always realized that we lack here is oversight committees. Where their people have oversight over whether it's the public sector, whether it's the hospital or the police or different ministries, that they could dig in and do these investigations. Because if all of us are complaining right now how bad this hospital is, the government should take an oversight committee right now, bring all the heads of that hospital to that committee and start to say, hey, start talking to me. What is the problem?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't exist.
We can talk about that and more when we come back after this break. Keep it locked here on 96.9. Guardian Radio, fresh news, smart talk all day.
Beulah, gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood. We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal. So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text Crime Bahamas up. Stop the crime before it's your time.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
And welcome back to the Tuesday, October. Wow, we already in October 21st edition of Dr. Rudolph Tinker. My name is Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. So, Dr. Tinker, you were talking about oversight committees. Carla, we coming to you in just a bit. Here in the Bahamas, obviously, we have the Public Accounts Committee, right? I'm just going through a couple of them that are there. All right, the primary parliamentary oversight body. All right, you have the Parliamentary Human Rights Committee, established in March of 2025. This new committee aims to strengthen the country's commitment to human rights. You have the Public Service Commission. This body advises the Governor General on the appointment, promotion, and discipline of public officers. You have the Police Service Commission. This commission oversees the appointment, dismissal, and disciplinary proceedings for police officers, providing oversight for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You have the Public Disclosure Commission. This commission reviews annual declarations of assets, income, and liabilities submitted by MPs, senators, and senior public officials. Are these the people who are supposed to deal with disclosure, like when they disclose? Because they don't disclose. So that's interesting. You have the Independent Commission of Investigations. This has been proposed in March of 2025. A bill was proposed to create a new permanent oversight body for state sectors. This commission would be empowered to investigate complaints from ordinary citizens against security officers and officials. And, of course, you have civil society oversight. So, Dr. Tinker, I'm with you. Having these committees is one thing. Having them actually make a difference, I think, is a whole nother.
They got to have teeth.
Yeah, they got to have teeth. Yeah.
Teeth must come through the judiciary, that whatever they grant, the judiciary will carry that out, whether it's a sentence, whether it's a fine, whether it's lose your license or such and such. But they gotta have teeth to be able to make it stick.
Mm-hmm.
Once they make that ruling, it's enforced.
So let me tell you what a texter is saying, right? This texter says, Uncle Professor has it the wrong way. I think the management at the PMH brings all issues to the government, but the government does nothing about their cries. No one want to work under those conditions. So I would give the employees and the management the benefit of the doubt. What say you?
Well, listen. Okay, if that is the case and they are making these issues, management is one thing, but some of the atrocities I'm hearing from the conduct of doctors and nurses and other people in the medical sector on patients are going and getting wrong diagnosis and doing all these things. That has nothing to do with management.
Right.
That has something to do with the professional core of the hospital. Management can make complaints on certain doctors and make complaints about the building and make complaints about lack of supplies.
Right.
But when you're butchering people, not
Yeah.
saying everybody,
Right.
that's totally different.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
need CID.
And you should be able to complain about that. You should be able to say, "Listen, man, these people telling me my prostate is the problem and it's my kidney."
Yeah.
And they're supposed to say, who tell you that? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I to say, hey, you already got diagnosis and the treatment from the U.S. which cured your issue. That should be a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Against that facility in Freeport. And the other brother, who's been sitting in there for 2 weeks at the hospital in Freeport, where he's saying he can't pass, and he had to just make up his mind, sick, to get on a plane and run to Fort Lauderdale real quick, and in 24 hours they had surgery to remove the obstruction. That should also be a lawsuit. That's negligence, malfeasance on behalf of the entire hospital and anyone who engaged with these individuals during their intake into the hospital and their discharge. He had to discharge himself and walk out.
Wow.
It's like, I ain't gonna stand here and die.
This is sad. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio Today. Caller, you're live on Guardian Radio Today. What say you?
Uncle Grammy boy, I got cut off while I was.
Sorry. Go ahead, man.
Listen to me, Professor. I need you to take my number. You said
leave
the
it with
words
Uncle,
I
I'll take
thought
it.
Grammy boy was the only one who had the cojones to use those words before the break, and I need to show you and the nation evidence.
Leave the number with the producer, Grammy boy.
Listen, I want you all listen to what I say to the professor. I ain't use it on the radio because they done gunning after my neck around there. Evidence, Professor.
Wow.
Evidence and recordings of the word you used a while back. I can prove it to you. I need someone like you to show this because it's a massive cover-up going on in that hospital. Massive.
Wow.
You hear
Senate,
me?
man, Senate.
I can leave my number with the producer.
Leave with the producer,
and I Tinker
Mhm.
to get in contact with me as soon as possible. This ain't no blind shaman, no ghost. I got black and white and recording. See what catch them off guard, Professor and Uncle. I was a shop steward at Batelco for 30 years. So I know how to document things. The problem with the most and majority of the patients and people that call on PMH and get to, like our professors saying do, they don't know how to write. I just write down everything.
Right.
And that's what catch them off guard. I got everything documented. So I'm going to leave my number with the producer, professor, or whoever out there when they saw it to call me, and I'll show them the evidence that Grammy boy has.
Thank you, my brother.
Good deal, man.
Yeah, man. This texter says, do you know what's the real problem with PMH? The private practice doctors are more concerned with their private practice than the government-run hospital.
Conflict of interest.
Wow.
Conflict of interest. No government doctor should be able to have a private practice as long as you're working at PMH,
Man,
unless
doc.
that doctor is contracted. If the doctor's on a contract to come to that PMH to do certain things, but if he's a full-time doctor, you cannot have a conflict of interest like that, man. You can't.
So you telling me, doc, you telling me I be in the medical school, I spend all kind of money, and I want my money back. The government ain't gonna pay me like my private practice. So and the government ain't send me to medical school.
Okay, if PMH is contracting you to do a service, it's fine. But if you're a full-time doctor at PMH and you have your own business, you can't do that, man.
Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio Today. Call you live.
Hey, Gracious, usual once again, right?
Yeah, bro.
I have a question for you, right? Let's take a time and think about this. If the PM, the Prime Minister of this country, don't feel safe going to Princess Margaret, you think I stupid enough to go there?
Speak volumes.
Think about it now. Notice.
His daughter is a doctor. He gone there, his daughter.
He has no confidence in PMH, bro.
His daughter is
But
a
he has
doctor
no
in the U.S.
confidence in the local
I ain't gonna say that.
If something happened,
He want his daughter to look after
them.
them.
All right.
All right, my brother. 323-623-2325-4316 325-4259 242-300-5720. See, Tinker, you say you only talking about the current ministers. The former prime minister being to brain surgery right here in Nassau.
He did it in Nassau?
Yeah, doctor's hospital.
Okay.
He ain't going to PMH.
Again, it's private. It's private. Listen, as you hear what I'm saying, I'm not dissing
I with you, bro. I with you.
Or any private person, because they can do whatever they want to do as a private citizen that's guaranteed under the Constitution. I'm talking about where the taxpayers are paying for these entities. Those are the only people we could hold accountable. I mean, we could also hold accountable the private hospitals under the licensing board that they do the right thing. But my focus is on PMH.
No, you make a very good point, Doc. You make an excellent point, because if it's just like in education, right? If you had to send your children to public school as an MP, the public schools the standards would have to be much better than they are, right? But majority, I'd be surprised to know if there are any MPs who have their children in public school. I'm not saying that they don't, all right? But I'd be very surprised, because the quality of education you're going to get at a private institution versus a public one is actually the opposite in China. In China, you want to get in a public school. The Chinese want to get into their government rounds because that's where they put the money.
Right.
You see, but here in the Bahamas, it's the other way around.
You see, when you isolate the government from using its public facilities, they don't get the experience that everyday Bahamians get.
Yeah, they live in a bubble, man.
They're living in a bubble. Same thing with the people that live out west and the north end of the island. They don't feel crime.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not. Yeah.
So it's hard for them to legislate on your behalf because they're not going through it on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
Now, I went to public school down there moons ago.
Yeah.
And the weather wasn't so hot.
Right.
You can imagine going to school now, sitting in a hot classroom trying to learn, man. Your mind.
Well, the Chinese just give one of the schools AC for the auditorium. So yeah, it's hot. It is hot. Let's run back to the phone. Go ahead.
And when you finish, you can't get a high school diploma.
Sad. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Hi, this is Matt Aubrey from the Organization for Responsible Governance.
Man, listen, I just pull up your website, I was just going to read some stuff from your website. My Lord, that's deep. That's deep. Go ahead, man.
Uncouth things are divine, right? Well,
yes.
Thank you, and great to listen to you and Dr. Tinker. This is a really key question that you're raising, going back to the oversight entity.
Yeah.
We have a lot of these that are referenced in our legislation, and that independent commission of investigations you talk about, that bill was passed into law, as was the protected disclosures, which is the whistleblowers law.
Right.
And so we have all of these pieces in the procurement law. There's reference to a public a commission that could receive your claims if you feel like for some reason somebody got a bid that you should have got.
Right.
So it's tied into a lot of our legal framework, but it's where the financing of it and usually the appointment of it becomes controlled through a mechanism that is easily seen as politically sensitive, right?
Right.
And it also what these entities are supposed to do is not just to work in isolation as the sole oversight mechanism. I mean, public disclosures, we see the only reporting mechanism they have is back to the same folks that they are supposed to police. It's to make sure that there is an informed and engaged citizenry. So we want people to understand these bills. Right now, there's a data protection bill that's being debated in the House and will ultimately go to the Senate. This bill is going to affect everybody who has private information held in the Bahamas, anybody who maintains businesses or does work internationally, and there's going to be levels of compliance. And there's a lot of good things in this bill, but the fact is that people wouldn't have seen this bill or have understanding or have ownership in it also means that when it comes to lack of enforceability, which you've already identified, there's not the other complement of citizens crying out to say, this is what we want to see. We've been talking about things like the freedom of information. bill, and fundamentally that was a law from 2017. It's put in place not really just to catch bad actors in government, but to make sure that people feel that when they hear information from government or they see something that they have questions about, that it's their right to be able to get that information.
Right.
The ombudsman was the other one to make sure that there was something in place. But if we don't call for these things to be put forward as priorities during elections and during annual budgeting circumstances, unfortunately, then it's left up to the exact groups who are supposed to be monitored to determine whether they put forward the priority or let it sit till a later time.
Yeah, hold the line.
Okay, so
Hold the line.
So the bills were put in place. The bills got approved for this commission and a couple other things. You said, right? It got approved, right? Did we lose him?
I'm not sure. Are you still there?
Sorry, it broke up on our side.
It broke up on his side. Say it again, Dr. Tinker.
I said the bills that you mentioned got approved recently about the commission and this and a couple other things. You said it got approved, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it got approved. What entity educated the Bahamians that these things got approved?
It would be us, and
Yeah,
that may be about it.
But let's pause for a second. Number one, you're not the government.
Right.
No.
You're not the government.
So listen, Dr. Tinker, that's why I say this was so divine. I pull up his website. To engage this conversation. And I was just about to start.
You going on the website to talk.
I telling you. This man, the work he doing in this country is very important. Go ahead. Sorry.
So you're not sanctioned by the government. You're more of a government police checker. But what I'm saying is, if the government approved these things, the government didn't come out with an educational presentation presenting all the latest approvals to the Bahamas. They did.
If you poured through the government website, you probably could find mention of it, but on a broad-based public education, no.
So nobody in the Bahamas would know that the government approved these things unless you go on their sloppy website and look for it. That's always broken.
Right. Which is
why
our point has been we need to build engagement for citizens at the early stages of when policy is developed. Public consultation can be more regularized and standardized, because when it happens sporadically and you just show up, it's hard for people to know their expectations or know what's coming through the pipe, because the debates in Parliament have to happen very quickly, and not many people are spending all their day listening to the Parliament.
If the government has spent the time to approve something for the benefit of the Bahamians, then the government must spend the time to educate the Bahamian on what just was approved and how does it benefit you and how does it affect you. If they're not doing that, all they're doing is rubber stamping, hoping that you don't read it.
Right, and that unfortunately what we see is not only here in the Caribbean and Bahamas, but across the world is what we see as a trend in governance. Government are making decisions at a pace that is different than what citizens would require to be brought on board. So we do a lot of community engagement at the foundational level, just teaching governance this is what your role is in the process. These are how to write a letter, how to basically advocate. And it can happen outside of government. In many instances, it's more important that it happens outside of government, because there is a lack of public trust these days in the types of institutions that are set up.
Yeah. I really appreciate your call, man. Organization for Responsible Governance. You can check it out. A lot of great information on this website. Yeah.
Org.
Thank you both for bringing this conversation forward.
Yes, thank you for calling in.
I know that organization quite well.
Yeah. Org, yeah.
No, when I tell you I know it, I know it quite well.
So you understand what I said, right? Exactly.
No. I know it, but the unique thing about them is the fact that they were born out of a group of well-to-do Bahamians who felt the need to create an organization like that.
Yeah. And that's an example of what we can do. I mean, and that's why I said, in this hour, we gotta have models of what we can do, right? Because being upset and running to Florida,
But you see the big takeaway from all that which I said.
Yeah.
They're not sanctioned by the government.
Right.
They're not paid by the government.
Right.
but the government approves things and they don't have an education campaign saying, we just approve this, this, and this is how it's going to work.
Right.
To get feedback from the public.
Right.
They red stamp it and they file it somewhere and they keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point?
The point is to get you to vote for them in the next general election.
And that's what it's about. You see, until this population of people stop taking their vote for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the reason why I have second-guessed myself so much times to say,
Jump in the ring.
Should I offer for public office? Should I not? Should I offer? I feel deep down inside that the people don't care. They really don't.
Well,
some of them doesn't have a sense, a purpose to understand the value of their vote because they only believe there's two ways to go.
Yeah.
All the way with the PLP or keep the fire burning with the FNM.
Yeah.
And then keep playing back and forth. This one did that. That one did that. So don't get mad at us because they did the same thing. So we can do the same thing. So don't hold us accountable because they did that and they. I'm like, if the conversation can't come higher than that, it's not to waste my time.
You have other organizations, some NGOs like Civil Society Bahamas that are also great organizations that help to agitate, that help to educate, so that we can be in the know. You can't really make a proper decision without actually being able to analyze what's going on. So you need people who may have a little bit more time to put this information forward.
Right.
Yeah.
This is why you really need the public debates to get these jokers in the front of a national stage and hear them talk and hear how bad they talk and hear how dumb they are. So don't vote for this guy. Don't vote for this guy. Listen, I held the first public debate at the University of the Bahamas. I think it was the first one around 2017. I was the moderator.
Okay.
So so really it was a joke to the people that showed up. The main parties didn't even take it serious.
No, I remember that. And that's because they know they don't have to do it because the people can vote for them anyway.
Should be mandated that they hold public debates. Head of the parties and all. People need to know what's your brain capacity. We don't want to get you in parliament and then you can't count. You can't read a big number.
That's right.
If you take the teleprompter away, you don't know what the crap you're talking about.
Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Go ahead, caller, you're live. Caller going once. All right, let's run to the next caller. Go ahead, caller. All right, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, the Family of Violence, 300-5720. This text says, Mr. Eneas, the former Prime Minister Ingram must he sang the winner takes it all. He believes in Bahamian. He born, bred Bahamian. He is so organic and rich with the educated Bahamian. Say what the pit bull is loose like a goose for the true Bahamian. Well, see, the point that Dr. Tinker is making, if you have the money to go to doctor's hospital, I mean, you can get quality service, but you better have the money.
Right.
All right? We don't have the money. Something happened to you today and you don't have the money to go to doctor's hospital, you got to go to PMH. Like he say, most people don't really want to go. They are concerned.
Yeah, let's make that clear. The Constitution gives you the right to do whatever you want to do. Jump on a plane, go to a doctor's hospital, or go to space.
Right.
We're not talking about those people. I'm talking about government-owned facilities where citizens of the Bahamas, tourists, and illegal immigrants are going to use. We're not dibble-dabbling in your private affairs.
Right.
You could go wherever you want to go, but if the government owns a facility, then that facility should be accountable.
I have some text here, Dr. Ting. I can't even read this whole. Let me read some of this text, just so you see. So people are hurting, right? This text says that they are texting in to express deep concern about the ongoing conditions at PMH, which have placed both patients and healthcare workers under extreme strain. It has become evident that there is a serious shortage of doctors at the hospital. As a result, nurses have been compelled to take on duties that extend beyond their official responsibilities, including diagnosing patients, authorizing tests, and in some cases, issuing prescriptions. These situations have led to confusion, tension, and occasional disagreements between staff members. Patients are being forced to wait excessively long hours to receive medical attention. Many have voiced their frustration, and unfortunately, some have suffered severe consequences due to these delays and miscommunications. The lack of proper coordination between staff and the overextension of nurses' roles are contributing factors to preventable medical errors and patient fatalities. This situation requires immediate attention and intervention. I strongly urge the Minister of Health and relevant authorities at PMH address the shortage of medical staff and ensure that proper procedures and professional boundaries are restored. The citizens of the Bahamas deserve a healthcare system that is efficient, safe, and properly staffed. Prompt action is not only necessary, but vital to prevent further loss of life. Thank you, Texter.
Everything she said right now.
Yeah. We don't know if it's a he or she. I don't know if it's a he or she.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever that being just said.
Yeah.
That's malfeasance. That's criminal.
Yeah.
It's criminal. It requires an investigation by the CID.
Yeah.
That's a criminal report right there.
So that's why your family member could be diagnosed with one thing and be something else.
You could imagine the dude going there and say he have pain. They say where the pain is. He said the pain in my sock somewhere. That's where it hurting, because if you have that stone, it hurting in your Peter.
Right.
So the first thing they tell the man is that, boy, you look like you got prostate cancer. Well, take these donkey tablets and we can see if you feel better. The fellow was there for 2 weeks. He called me. He said, boy, this ain't looking good and I in pain. And they tell me I got prostate cancer and and they didn't even do a test to diagnose the fact that I got prostate cancer.
But now
I said, boy, you better jump on it.
Wow.
Within a couple hours, they give the man a treatment to crack up the stone. He peed out and boom, he was gone.
My Lord.
Can you imagine?
But that texter revealed some serious realities or alleged realities.
But so, it's criminal what they're saying, man.
Yeah.
If CID is listening, this is an investigation that, that texter really needs to text the public, the attorney general, and start an investigation in this.
Yeah.
This is a serious issue.
Yeah. Let's run to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Yes, how you doing? To you, Dr. Pink, and to you, Dr. Enius.
How you doing, sir? Yes, sir.
Yes. Doctor, before I get to my point,
yeah.
Dr. Enius, give me an opportunity to ask Dr. Thinker a question.
Sure.
Dr. Thinker, everything you talk about, it's all about the money. Now, let me ask you a question. If for 24 years, your economy grew 2%, but your bills grew 8%, or put at 5%, where would that put you?
That puts you upside down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And before I lose this train of thought, that's why I said earlier, when I was in PMH, things were different 30, 40 years ago because the population wasn't so large. The population of the Bahamas grew to include immigrants, but yet the facilities remained the same.
Mm-hmm.
Infrastructure stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and this is the problem you have, is the failure to... is about the failure that is needed to grow the economy that's needed for us to keep pace. Now, it brings us to a point. Mr. Albury from ORG made a statement concerning the demand for data protection.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what happens? On the 15th of Wednesday, we had a discussion on data protection, which essentially was about basically maintaining the status quo and putting lipstick on a pig. Okay? Now, this is something that I'm aware of. And just how those individuals, Dr. Enius, just how those individuals say choose COI, let me say to the PME people, listen to the debate of Michael Pintard. What he did was laid out the groundwork for the Bahamas to becoming a jurisdiction for global data privacy, constitutional data privacy, constitutional data protection, and constitutional data sovereignty. The point I make is that what Mr. Albury spoke about are the things we need. You can't offer to the world what you not prepare yourself to build.
Exactly.
And so if you take the position that this is where we need to be, and this is where you will take the country, it then means that the very things that we've been crying about for 50 years would have to automatically fall away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. See, it's important for us to begin to look at leadership, not just in what they say, but can they bring together the team to execute the promises or vision or ideas that they have? Now, we have for years used the word that they present a immigration plan, they present a crime plan. No one, and Dr. Aeneas, if you want a $10,000 donation to your church, find one plan that has been published in the last 15 years. See, because a plan tells you how, when, where, what, tells you the amount to spend, the KPI you expect, measuring tools, and all of these things. None of that has ever been presented. We've been calling that we will put police on every corner and this, and this, a plan. It's not a plan. It's an idea, an expressive idea. And so
buy a bunch of drones and didn't do nothing.
Right.
They didn't even have the drones. The drones never showed up.
I'm saying to you, but the question then is, one bought it, one met it there. Have anything been done?
Nope.
Okay. So you now see, and this is where individuals are trying to have you vote against something rather than vote for something. I think we are at the stage right now. We are about 4 months away from the second 25 years in the 21st century, still fighting, trying to articulate solutions for 20th century problems. And so, and ending is saying this: in the Bahamas silos is billions of dollars. And Dr. Thinker, you know, data is the new oil of the 21st century. It drives AI. It drives at least 29 of the 30 different economic models that exist in the world today.
Big data, man. Big data. They sell that stuff.
That's right.
Huh? So if we can recognize that we have billions of dollars of latency in our silos because we don't know what it is, to tap into it, to cover the past and stimulate the future, then we will continuously doing the things over and over again. We have a housing, this is something. You remember when Michael Pintat said, I will build 2,000 houses a year, and the Bahamas go crazy, but it can't be possible? And respectfully, my wife explained, 2,000 houses is no more than 40 apartments on Grand Bahama with 50 units each. If we can't, in her letter to the editor, if we can't do that, do you know how emasculated economically we are? And so what we need is people to forget the placation of making you feel good and ask a simple question. If you are there now and you haven't done it, why haven't you? See, and I would put to you, they're incapable of doing it because, Dr. Thinker, I want you to think about this. I rather think that you're incapable of doing this rather than say that you are capable but refuse to do it so I could suffer.
True.
So I'm simply saying, if you haven't demonstrated and you have a year or two and you can't, then move out of the way for leadership that is capable of bringing together a team of individuals that you could verify that team's competence, not just from the MPs, because the 39 MPs don't only people that run government. We see the government spending now almost $100 million. Can the team people around that leadership come together to build the economy? Not just what you want, but what you need. Thank you so much. And for me, that's Michael Pintard. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to run to the break here on Guardian Radio. Go ahead, think before we go to the break.
Before you break, listen, he hit he made some very good points. And one thing I've always been against is this thing called permanent secretaries. I think permanent secretaries is the biggest disadvantage to a new government. You got to replace those. You got to get rid. You got to get rid of them because many of them don't have experience in the industries that they're running, and that's why a lot of these industries are so backwards because
all their allegiances are tied to the former government.
Exactly. Fire them.
Yeah. We're gonna run to the break here on Guardian Radio today here on 96.9. Keep it locked.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Marcus Samuelson, Dario Zucchini, singer Scott Conant, alongside a vibrant lineup of chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. From curated tasting events to beachfront feasts and immersive gallery experiences, this is more than a festival. It's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today. It could be a scheme to weaken public hospitals, this texter says, driving patients toward private care and boosting profits for private medical corporations under the guise of inefficiency.
If that is the case, then that's why you need, whether it's a cooling off period or a conflict of interest, where PMH doctors do not have private businesses. If that is the case. I don't think that is the case, but that is the case. But I just wanted to ask you a question. Who's the manager of PMH? Is there a manager of PMH?
There's a public hospital authority.
So it's a public hospital authority. So this is a group of people. So the Prime Minister or the Minister of Health needs to have a meeting with that group. The authority, top management, and middle management. Meetings need to be had, and each one of them need to give their 2 cents on what's going on within the hospital. Why are things not being met? Where the problem lies. And if that public authority cannot, these positions like these things, these should not be lifetime tenure positions. These should be revolving positions where people come in with better experience if you're lacking the experience. I mean, if there's one incident, just like the incident in Freeport where the guy was diagnosed with prostate cancer but really had kidney stone, the top person should have been fired.
Yeah. So the Public Hospital Authority is a quasi-government entity responsible for the management and development of public hospitals and related health services in the Bahamas, established by the Public Hospital Authority Act in 1998. The primary goal is to ensure the highest quality health care is accessible to all residents.
Man, all these people like his titles. That's it. That's all they like is title. If they would just work hard for the title, the country would be a better place.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who in their right mind would shut down clinics throughout Nassau?
See,
why?
I'm baffled that we want to build new hospitals without actually maintaining what we have.
Exactly.
You see?
Maintain what you got.
Yeah, let's do that at least first, or upgrade what you have. You know what I'm saying? These clinics should not be. The police station don't close. Okay, the clinic should be the same way.
Man, listen, in Cuba, who is in worse shape than the Bahamas, their pharmacies and their clinics are 24/7.
Yeah.
Free to the public.
Yeah.
In Cuba.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
If someone has I think the government think Bahamians are cats. Because cats got 9 life. By the time you're having a heart attack in South Beach, you call for the ambulance, you can die 3 times before the ambulance get there. When you get on the ambulance, you can die 3 more times on the way to PMH. And then once you get to PMH, and they resuscitate you at the 9th life.
My Lord.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you know we only got 1. But they think you got 9.
Right. Well, the thing is, bringing these conversations to light is important. We gotta agitate and see, because I think what it really boils down to at the end of the day is, everybody just saying ring the bell, right? Like that's
ring the bell
like
for
that,
what?
Right,
To go
right.
and do the same nonsense
That's my
again?
point. That's
ring
my
the bell
point.
for what?
That's my
you
point.
ain't had a public discourse yet talking about an issue such as healthcare.
Right.
You can't even address crime. All these things you're not addressing. You can't address energy. The energy bills are still high. The education is disastrous at a D+ or a D-. You got healthcare that's in dire straits, high rate of unemployment. What you ringing the bell for? When you haven't come to the forefront and tell people, how are you going to make things better than the last 4 years?
Well, that's
just nonsense.
That's the part of the Constitution we do read. We know when elections supposed to be called.
That's all you know. Because why? That's the time the economy is going to create a bunch of fake jobs and people can put $2 in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I keep saying, stop waiting for 4 and 5 years to hold these people accountable in an election. You should hold them accountable every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you see what's going on in France. They don't replace a prime minister almost 2-3 times the vote of no confidence.
In the road. Let's go on the road. Let's jump back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Carl Horn, Uncle Sarah.
How you doing, man?
I'm okay.
Great.
Professor Tinker.
What are you saying, man?
All is good. Now, I want you to answer this question, man. I'm in Nassau, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for me to make an overseas call in Nassau to Nassau?
Say it again.
No idea, man.
Say it again.
If I'm making a call in Nassau, right?
Right.
Is it possible for me to make an overseas call in Nassau to Nassau? No way.
No. I mean, that sounds weird, but no.
Yeah, okay. So why it sounds so weird? Because a cell phone call from one provider to the other provider is $1 a minute.
What?
Oh, wow. That's what's going on?
Yeah. It's crazy. That's the kind of teasing they doing. Right up front in your face.
Wow.
Right in your face, okay? And that ain't supposed to be so. IRCA supposed to be protecting the public.
Did you report it to IRCA?
I guess IRCA no.
No. This is part of the problem. We waiting for someone else to report it. I ain't getting on you per se, right? I just asking because I just think it's important we understand our role in this formula.
Yeah.
When we see things like this, is our report it?
Yeah, because I mean, I tell you no lie, I can't wrap my mind around it, right? Because I make a phone call to my son in 5 minutes to call everything gone, Masha.
Wow.
For BD, and I go into our lives and I tell them about it. They tell me, hold on, man, that's what it's all a minute.
$1 a minute.
About that. I had the case in there because I made the case, but what else could I do?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's IRCA, right? How could IRCA, like I say, this was to be protecting the public, right? From all these unscrupulous behavior from these entities, and I'm talking about the media or the civil, like the civil telecommunications, right? And so how is it that they sit by and agree for this dollar? Because I spoke with the manager inside PDC this morning, okay? And he said, well, what we supposed to do when IRCA says, okay, but how could the government? The government is there, and IRCA is supposed to be protecting us, and the government is like, they ain't do nothing. They ain't do nothing. You know why they ain't do nothing? Because they sell DDC, right? 49.51, right?
Mm-hmm.
And buy alive and things, and one alive, 51, 40 alive, 40. It's like they still own DDC, but they don't own DDC.
Yeah. Crazy. And so that's even crept into the whole John Canoe discussion about who can give the sponsorship and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we got to report these things, and you need to keep a record of your report so that when you have the opportunity again to bring these issues up, you could say, look here, man, I didn't report this many times on these days. This is who I spoke to, because then it exposes some of the foolishness that's going on in these agencies. People just sitting down getting paid while the country on fire, and going to hell. So, Dr. Tinker, I think you set a fire underneath the PHA today. That's really who's responsible for the public hospitals. The politicians, they come and go. But like you say, you got people in positions sitting around for years and watching things deteriorate. Some texts have said that the politicians are being made aware of these things, but just things aren't happening the way they should. And I think that's a big part of what's going on. I mean, who really is going to who's going to feel the crunch? Who's going to feel the pinch when you have things like what our texts describe and our callers describe happening? These people taking their money and they going home and they living good.
Listen, just with this radio program alone, within the last 2 hours, and of all the other incidents that would have happened, every single person on that PMH authority, if I had anything to do with it, I wouldn't even want to talk. I'd fire them all. Or the weakest thing I would do, especially if the PM would get hear this, or the Minister of Health would summon a meeting immediately.
Right.
And I only given you 24 or 48 hours to tell me why.
Yeah.
But things like this, you got to replace them. I can't give you a second chance on this. You got to go.
Yeah.
I cannot give you an eye to it. I only can imagine all the other things you turn a blind eye to, which tells me that you're incompetent. You got to go.
Yeah. Let's run back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Guardian Radio today. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I agree with Mr. Tinker.
Yeah.
This is a lousy country we living in.
Wow.
As he mentioned, them other countries, they don't play with that. They don't play with people. Only our country. I listen to the world news about what's going on in France.
Mm-hmm.
Our country is lousy. They will get rid of these people a long time. FNM or PLP, we be playing with them. That's why they're doing us the way they're doing us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. So we, the electorate, have a responsibility. You understand? When Dr. Tink and I sat up in these conversations a couple of weeks ago, one of the first couple shows we had was about the responsibility of the electorate and the fact that you have the opportunity to get in the street or engage your MPs or find ways to make sure that these people are held accountable. Because after you vote for them, that don't mean you're just supposed to let them do what they want to do. We got to hold them accountable. Because
you're right, man. And what really bothers me, listen, it's I take it personal, but I take it as a Bahamian. If I'm in Nassau visiting one day, that I would if something happens, I might end up in this facility.
Yeah.
This should be on the forefront of every breeding Bahamian.
Mm-hmm.
And even pregnant women facility that you will enter if something happens to you.
The thing about it is, Dr. Tinko, I think the big problem in this country is you got professionals who know what to do, but their hands are tied by MPs and cabinet ministers.
That is unacceptable, man.
I'm
having your
telling you.
hands tied is criminal.
But see, my thing is this: the system then has to be, engaged. Because if I'm a professional and I know what I'm doing, and this person gets voted in, and now they could tell me what to do, what am I supposed to do?
You gotta do your job. You gotta listen. The guy in
my
Freeport,
job is to listen to the
guy in Freeport. They thought his sack was the size of coconuts that would end up in his kidney.
My Lord.
So you gotta have big coconuts.
So
someone have to take the sacrifice to go ahead. But the problem is they don't want to lose their job.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose their ministry.
Yeah. You have people who are well educated, who know exactly what needs to be done, but they don't pull the cord on the purse strings. So they could complain all they want. And what I would suggest them do is you need to document all your complaints. You need to say, when that meeting is called, you could say, all right, PM, on this date, I complain about that. On this date, I complain about that. On this next date, I complain about that. And I can look you in your face and say, now you do your job. So call as much meetings as you want.
And Bahamians that are being mistreated at these public facilities, these hospitals and stuff, you have a right to take them and sue them civilly.
Yeah.
I don't think they don't have immunity protection if they would have done you wrong, if you dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's, and you have evidence of malfeasance and malpractice.
Right.
Sue them.
Yeah.
This is the only way they're going to learn.
Yeah.
That's why when you come to the U.S. the U.S. doesn't have the best medical in the world. But but you can rest assured that these doctors, they want to make sure they're not going to get sued.
Yeah.
Because sue to put you out of business. So they double. Mistakes still happen. But they want to make sure, man, that they're covered. Because you got the power to sue them. And many lawyers would take your case on contingency because they know, we're suing a hospital?
Yeah,
I'll take that case for 33%.
Right.
You don't have to pay anything up front.
Right.
Because there's a good chance they're going to pay us just to shut up.
Right. Yeah.
But the problem is when you have a government entity versus a private entity, many people don't think they could hold the government entity to account. So I would tell Bahamians in general, because I know we're about out of time, listen, your health is the most vital thing to you as a Bahamian citizen. It is the government job mandated by the Constitution to ensure that you have health care, good quality health care, because a healthy society is a prosperous society. And you gotta be healthy. If government-ran hospitals and clinics are doing so bad, then people should be protesting and boycotting and demanding the heads of these organizations be terminated and be replaced. The Minister of Health should not have any conversation with you if he cannot rectify these situations.
Yeah, I think it's a huge problem. I want these public officials to speak out. If they are recommending things that are not being carried out by these ministers, then they need to say so, because it's criminal otherwise. They need, Dr. Dinko,
because if they're saying they're complicit, if they're being complicit in saying that, we told the minister this and he didn't do it, and if the minister could turn around and say, show me one email or show me one memo that you sent this to me, then someone got to get fired.
Yeah.
And you know what? We need to push for them to be fired within the next 30 days. So once you get the PMH authority on your hospital, the Rand on your show, or the Rand Memorial who send on the show, and let's see where the complicity lies. Are you sending memos to the minister telling him what you're lacking? And if not, then you got to be fired.
The texter says, I think you're missing one thing. Ministries are putting their needs in, but nothing gets done unless the Ministry of Finance approves it. If you have a frugal finance minister, nothing gets done.
Well, then Al-Qaeda's got to be fired then. So we got to find out who got to be fired.
Someone got to go. Someone got to go. No, but real talk. It it's really not a laughing matter. Because people like people.
Because I'm angry.
Yeah, no, I with you. I ain't saying you shouldn't be laughing. You got to laugh so you don't cry. But I'm just letting the listeners know we're not laughing at your plight.
Exactly. No, we're not.
We're not laughing at your plight.
Because
I with you, Tinker. You got to laugh so you don't cry.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, look forward to our conversations again next week.
And we just can't say it's better in the Bahamas if it ain't better for Bahamians.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
The Bahamas is not just for the tourists.
Yeah.
And the white guys with the empty briefcase. The Bahamas is for the regular people.
Yeah, man. This ain't a paradise, just a pair of dice.
Exactly.
All right. We out of here on Guardian Radio today. Naughty and Crew is up next. Keep it locked here on 96.9 Guardian Radio. Fresh news, smart talk all day. Master family.